I made it! Hello everyone, I am extremely excited to report that I made it to Auckland, New Zealand, where I'll be staying for the next 4 months. I've been here for about a week now, and I've had a great time exploring the city, but I want to use this video to talk about my experience in Fiji. If you watched my previous video, you saw a montage of clips from the resort, the beaches, the palm trees, but that's really not what I want to talk about. I want to take this time and talk about an experience that really challenged my way of thinking and kind of shifted some perspective for me. Coming into this experience, I knew that it would be hard to find a balance between my time behind the lens and my time directly interacting with the world around me. As a filmmaker, I instinctually want to capture everything. I want to tell a visual story and want to be able to translate that to the people who are watching. But as a student and a human being, I know that it's important to experience this with my eyes and my mind and not just through the lens of a camera. I knew this would be a challenge for me. I knew it would be hard. But never did I think that I would feel so uncomfortable holding a camera. If you watched my last video, then you'll remember a few clips from a school that I visited in a local village in Fiji. On our second day in Fiji, a group of about 50 of us took a hike over the mountain, across the beach, and to the other side of the island to visit Soso village and to see the kids in their primary school. I knew that this would be a very eye-opening experience, but I wasn't really expecting the reaction that I had when I arrived there. Just being in a group of about 50 people and parading through this village made me feel uncomfortable. The locals were kind of just staring at us confused, and I didn't really blame them. It seemed like we were marching through an exhibit, and that wasn't really okay with me. When we got to the school, we saw that it was composed of about 3 buildings, each the size of a trailer. These buildings housed kids from kindergarten to about year 8. And it was pouring rain, but all of the kids were outside waiting for us. They were happy and smiling and excited to see us, and that made me feel good. But what was to come made me very uncomfortable. And I don't want to blame anyone or point fingers or ascribe this confusion to anything in particular. I just want to talk about it because at the moment, I couldn't really understand what I was feeling. Immediately, our group of American students turned into a line that led to a small group of Fijian school children at the end. And one by one, kids from our group would lean down and take a selfie with this group of school children. And it felt weird. It felt weird. I guess the argument would be, well, they loved it. It was fun. They loved to use our iPhones and see people that didn't look like what they were used to, and it was exciting for these school children, but really, it wasn't about them. It was about the photos and the intention behind those photos that really confused me. The word voluntourism is thrown around a lot these days. From my understanding, voluntourism has to do with the fulfillment that the volunteers are getting from an experience, and not the help that they're bringing to these people and these communities. And honestly, I think that word really relates to my experience. As you can imagine, these photos consisted of a white American student surrounded by a bunch of black children. Naturally, these photos do a lot of othering and create a false disparity between the two subjects. It's kind of dehumanizing, and I don't know, it made me feel weird. And I'm not saying that people took these pictures with the intention to dehumanize these kids, because I don't think that's the case at all. But naturally, the children around you become a prop, and you're becoming the hero of this photo. And you know that your friends and family on social media are going to eat that up. So it seems as though these photographs were less about the actual work that we were there to do, which was to interact with these kids and hopefully donate to their school. But it was more about appearing to have an impact, retrospectively. I don't know if this is making any sense, but I honestly just needed to talk this out, because standing in that line and seeing the kids at the end of the line really made me think about why we were there and what we were intending to get out of it. As you may have guessed, I didn't end up taking a picture with these kids. I took a few videos from afar, and I ended up donating to their school. But I left feeling slightly uncomfortable and morally conflicted. I feel like a lot of us left that village with this big emotional experience that was validating our privilege, and I'm not sure if that's what it should have been about. There wasn't really a conversation happening. There were just cameras flashing, and that... I don't know. I didn't like it. Obviously, I'm not an expert on this kind of stuff. I'm just talking about my experience and how it made me feel. I'm not trying to say what's right or wrong. It's just a way for me to kind of unpack the whole thing and hopefully get a better sense of why I felt so conflicted. I really do think this is a great conversation topic, so if you do feel so inclined, let me know if you've gone through a similar experience, or just let me know what you think about voluntourism in general in the comments below. Overall, I did have an amazing experience in Fiji. I met some great people, and I hope that those friendships will continue over throughout my semester. That's what I gotta say. I just think an experience like this should change more than just your profile picture. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching and for listening to me ramble about moral dilemmas in Fiji. If you want to continue to follow me in Auckland, subscribe to this channel and I'll be posting a video next week about my time here in the city so far. Until next time.